Right, hello, good guys. Hello, good. Did I just say hello, good guys? What the hell did that mean? Hello, everybody. Um, what's new, Pussycat? Well, I'm not gonna. I'm not. No, I sung it the other night for you a little bit, and I'm not gonna do it again. So, if you want to hear me purr, Hunter, do something that makes me purr, baby. I mean, on track, by the way, on track. All right, Chris is on an outlap. I think Chris is our furthest round, is he? Don't know actually. No, I think there's a McLaren. Oh, McLaren's just crossing the line. It's Junkie Emperor, so actually no, it looks like Junkie's the first driver round. Oh, look at this. We got. It's all about purring. What is? Goodness me. They love a bit of purring. Yeah, still, guys, you got to do something on track that makes me purr. If you do something on track that I think's good, I'll purr. Like earlier on, I was doing commentary on the kids' races for ARC earlier on, and it was an absolutely superb cutback done by one of the kids on an adult driver. Basically, the adult driver overtook him, went a bit deep into turn one, and the kid, Isaac, his name is, did a cutback on him, or a switchback, and it was absolutely brilliant. That's the sort of thing I need to see if you want to hear me purr. Any normally people wouldn't want to hear me purr. I don't know what's wrong with you lot in this league. So far, so good from Junkie Emperor. He's on his way round. This long right-hander is, on this game, proved to be a bit of a pain. I'm not going to lie to you. It's taken a lot of scalps in the game, in the races that I've done comms on, or even raced in myself. It's causing trouble. There's no doubt about that. As Junkie starts us off with a 34.6, which actually seems pretty good to me. That's a decent first lap. And his teammate is heading for the line as well. De Gooner comes across a bit quicker, 34.1. So that tells us that Pole's going to be in a 33s already. Which I wasn't sure about. It's a little while since I did America, actually. That long, but it's not that long, but it's long enough. I can't really remember what the qualifying times were. I think that was Crisp has just gone in on a 35.2. Well has split the McLaren's on a 34.4, but he's done that on medium tyres. Why the nutter's gone out of mediums, I don't know. Massey then goes fastest. He's first into the 33, so a 33.9 from Massey is immediately beaten by Chardinho and the Alfa Romeo with a 33. Right, I'm back. Sorry about that. I could have sworn I changed them before they started qualifying. Clearly not. You watch somebody pipe up in a minute with amateur hour or something like that. Right, anyway. See if we can find somebody. Oh, there's somebody. Bowden, he's spinning round on track. This ain't the time to be doing bonuts. That's what they're going to be called. If he's ever doing them, they are bonuts. Mr. Indy, you legend of a man. Thank you for following the other day. And really, really glad to see you on track again, Mr. Indy. Hunter, as usual, has invalidated his lap. Volungus also. What about my good start? What good start? We haven't started the race yet. How can you have had a good start if we haven't started the race? Ooh, Chaldinho got blocked slightly. I just saw that come up in the Discord. Well, things happen, Chaldinho, but you put in a good lap. Oh, whoopee! You're off to a good start. 1:33.6, well done. Goes fastest. Mr. Indy's managed to 36.1. Up and running. Hunter still invalidated. Is he into the pits? We're going round again. He's going round again. Let's do our hot lap. Hilly hot lap on board with VX Hunter. So up, DRS open at this point, up to the heavy braking turn 1, slow turn 1. It'll lead to a few incidents in the race. Let's hope it doesn't tonight. Flat out through turn 2, 3, and then just come off the power slightly through 4 and 5 to allow you to take a better apex through 6. Very quick through the left-hander. And late braking into this right-hander. Be careful about traction, it's very slippery on the exit. So out we come in a way, we head down now to the hairpin that will take us onto the humongous straight that follows. This is where we're likely to see probably a good 90%, if not higher, of the overtaking in the race. DRS opens up, you can see just how long it is. Not sticking to the right here, Hunter, you would usually hang your car to the right. It's the shortest distance travelled, and brakes nicely for the left-hander and takes the corner very nicely as well. Also again here, traction very low out of the right-hander. It's because it's uphill. And then we head round to that left-hander, which could be taken in multiple ways. Here's the long right-hander. It's kind of a series of right-hand corners, but it all gels into one. Into this blind left-hander, you've just got to trust that the corner entry is there. And Hunter did just that, and it was there. And the final corner is taken very nicely. Again, can be a bit slippy on exit, and that is a lap that is good enough for P9. Bearing in mind that is his second attempt on those tyres, so they're a little bit more worn than they should be. So he's certainly got more time left in him as Hunter. Now on with Whale, who's going to meet a car. Turn 1. I have to say, the car was well out of the way. I think that was Hunter. Is he still? I think he was coming out of the pits, so it can't be. It's the only Red Bull on the track, so it must be. Oh well. Anyway, well is already invalidated, so giving a good viewing for our WAOF1 crowd that's come to watch with us. If any of them have, I don't know. Oh yeah, if you get a good start in the race, Whoopi, I'll give you a purr. Definitely. Definitely. It's only a short run up to turn 1 here. Assuming you're somewhere near the front, which I'm sure you will be. Here we are. I don't like to suddenly talk when somebody's in this part of sector 1 because it's they are listening to the stream. Well, maybe it's their fault for not turning it down before starting a lap, but don't like to put them off. In a way, on with Massey now. Currently sat in P3 and started a lap. Let's see how he goes. So the end of sector 2 is just round the next left-hander, the end of the straight. And again, Massey not necessarily hanging it out to the right. Maybe not everybody does that. He's improving Massey. A couple of attempts. Certainly going to be challenging for a provisional pole here. Here he comes down to the final corner then. Head to the line. I think this is a provisional pole. Oh, not quite. Not quite. 36.679. Misses it by 0.03 of a second. Very, very close. 32 thousandths. So close. Chaldinho not executing his next lap. Whoopee now having a go. So I don't mean to be just watching the top guys. We will try and get everybody in as best we can. It's not possible to watch everybody with 17 drivers. There's only a short qualifying. Unfortunately, I can't get everybody in. This battle for pole position at the moment is really close, and Daguna has just thrown his hat into the ring as well. He's gone P3, 0.02 of a second faster than Chaldinho at this point. Chaldinho made it quite clear he's definitely got more time in Chaldinho, but he didn't manage it on that last attempt. He may be having another go now. Really, whoopee into the pits. Well, that definitely don't get a per whoopee. Chaldinho's round. Oh, it's that left hand coming out of sets of one. It's horrible corner. Always has been since USA came into the game. It's always been horrible there. This man is just coming up to it. He's just gone through it. He took it all right. And the hairpin to get onto the straight. So Chris looking good so far on this lap. Watching through to the end of sets of 2 and get an idea of how far up he is. Oh, I'm not sure he's going to be actually. I got a feeling he just completed a lap because he's out of energy. So let's just see the time. Yeah, now he's well down. Okay, my apologies. I thought he was on a hot lap. No, that's slow as well. It's invalidated. Answers on a postcard as to why Twiglet's doing a qualifying lap on hard tyres. If he gets pole, I'll give him the money myself. Now, as we established the other day, that HRF1 is not deliberately, but it's sort of accidentally becoming become a league for old people. The vast majority of the league should get that reference from Family Fortunes. And the fact that Wells decided to drive tonight, he's only 21. And he's reduced the average age of the grid by about 5 years. Just him joining. I don't know, why am I watching Twiglet when he's on hard tyres? I don't know, but we've watched him long enough now, we may as well complete the lap with him. Oh, and that is why I mentioned earlier on about that corner. It's lethal. It is lethal this season. I don't know why. It's never been like that before, but it loves to drag you to the inside wall, and I've got no idea why, as I said, but I think X11 is he on a lap? He's heading for the line. Does he improve? Yes, he does with 3 attempts. P8 for X11. His teammate, I think, is on a lap as well. It's down 2 Lithuanians. Teammates on track as well, and P6 goes Valungus. He's winning the battle for the Ferraris at the moment. Drivers coming back out onto outlaps for their third runs now. How's Bossman doing? He's improving nicely, very nicely, nearly 6 attempts. Goes P10. Maybe a little bit disappointed to only see P10 flash up. My goodness me. Top 10 covered by 8 attempts at the moment. Fantastic. He's Bowden. He's not doing bonuts anymore. He's on an outlap. Let's stick with him. His current PB is a 35.9. Let's see how he gets on. Evening, Greza. How are you, my friend? Hope you're well. Bowden. Difficult sector 1. It's not invalidated. He's okay. He's okay. And he's up on his PB. So a nice start to the lap. Just coming up to the end of sector 2 now, and he's improved again. Just over 3.5 attempts up. So it's enough for one place at the moment, but let's see what he can gain in this final sector. As you can see, I really don't like that corner. Completely blind entry, and the sun is absolutely beaming at the moment. So I'm told it's not in USA. Well, I say it's not. It's not in Florida anyway. That's the only one I know. 3/4 of a second up then for Bowden, and improves to P12. So a nice lap from Bowden. Well done on that one. Oh, that's the time up. Can you believe that? Time up, and Massey goes pole. Massey takes pole with just over a tenth to Whoopi. Is that the end of it? Looks like it for this man. This is not improving. What about this man? This man's improving. I mean, he's on target. Is he? Well, no, he's actually what? He needs to gain another 1,000th of a second in the final sector. 2,000ths to actually take it. Right on it here is Mr. Whale. Can he take it off of Massey? It'd be a great scalp. Across the line, and he does. 1:33.3. Took it comfortably by 2 tenths, but Cialdino beats him straight after. That's another 2 tenths taken out of it by Cialdino. Exceptional lap from Cialdino. Fortunately, as I said, the Gooner not improving, nor is Junkie Emperor, so it looks like it's the end of the McLaren's push for it. Bowden, we saw do his lap. Crisp is into the pits. So it looks to me like that's the end of qualifying. Yeah, it is. That lady sings, and it's a pole position for Cialdino. Well done, Cialdino. Superb lap. Absolutely superb lap. 33.1. Very nice lap indeed. I thought Massey had nicked it, and then against all the odds in the world, Wales somehow nips ahead of Massey. And then Cialdino just put him back in his place immediately. Whoopi will not be used to being P4 on the grid. He's going to need a good start this week to try and get himself in front. It's only a short run up to turn 1. So it's not easy to gain 3 places here, quite frankly. But he is lightning off the line, so we'll see how he does. Yes, okay. For somebody who's not wanting to sound like a parent, you're sounding a lot like a parent. But yeah, no, I do remember, buddy. It's just I'm busy on Sundays generally. Got TSD Austria soon. Well, good luck for that one, buddy. Wish you the best. Anyway, there's our grid. Daguna P5, then Volunga 6, Junkie Emperor 7, Chipfan 8, X11 9, Hunter brings out the top 10. We got Chris, Lismore, Bowden, Crisp, Mr. Indy, Ronaldo, and Twiglet, who for some reason did his qualifying lap on hards. Perhaps wanted to start from the back. I wouldn't blame him, quite honestly. It's sector 1's a bit of a nightmare here at America. I feel like I'm saying it for every track these days that turn 1's a nightmare, but for America, it's not just turn 1, it's sector 1. So yeah, I think maybe that was an actual choice from Twiglet to just go out on hards, maybe do a bit of a race run and actually start from the back. because you wouldn't usually be down there, not right at the back. It should be a good race. Mighty competitive at the front. Well, Whoopi, if you're P1 by the time you reach turn 1, or when you come out of turn 1, if you are P1, I'll give you a purr. But, that's what it's going to take for me to purr for you, baby. Right, I'm going to take, as the drivers take a quick break now, guys, I'm going to do the same and just refill my coffee, and I'll be back shortly. Hey guys, back with you. Looking forward to this. Seeing those laps. Has Geraldino got the race pace to go with the quali pace? As well, got it. Well, probably didn't get the practice that the others did for this. He may well have been in the practice before the race, but he obviously wasn't building up to it throughout a week where he knew he was going to be driving it with the extra options to be able to do a bit of practice for it. I don't think any of the drivers have been practicing for the whole week, by the way, but I just mean that, well, wouldn't normally be available on a Sunday night, so didn't have the option for the practice like everybody else. Well, just a quick look at the Discord, Alfin. Just looks in the Discord. Chardino said, "I'll let Whoopi through into P1 so that we hear a purr from Hilly." What have I started? What have I started? Like I've started a cult. A purr cult. Right, let's get some details up then. It always feels good for me every week when we get to this point. I don't know, maybe because my evening streaming starts at 5, and when we get to the point where we're doing a formation lap for the final stream of the evening, I feel like I'm going to get a bit of time off soon. I'm only joking, of course. Of course, it's because we're doing a formation lap for HRF1, and I cannot wait for this race to get underway. That's what I meant to say. Look at the tyres then. The top 3 Chardinho, well, Massey have all opted for mediums to start. Whoopi's given himself the best chance to take the lead at the start by starting on softs. I already know what strategy he's doing, but I'm not going to shout it out to everyone. So I know some drivers do listen to the stream. So the Gunner on mediums, Volungus on mediums. Our hardest hard tyre starter is Junkie Emperor in P7. Chip Van, well, mediums then all the way down to Chris in P11. Lismore's gone for hards. Bowden, Chris, Mr. Indy, Ronaldo all on mediums. Well, Swiglet at the back is starting on those hards then. So I think he's gone for the hard. I doubt that's the hardest that he was doing laps on in quali. I'm sure he probably went for the hard selection. Makes sense for this track to do that, to be honest. If you end up with a 2 or 3 safety cars, he may play into his hands having the extra set of hards available. He's the only person that's done that throughout the whole grid. So, if you want to watch. He is very much. If you watch my other streams, there's in PRF1 on Friday nights, you've got Master Spread, who's a master when it comes to starting races and getting off the line. And Whoopi's normally in that mould. He's usually just like that. So let's see if he can. He's got 3 guys ahead of him that are only on the medium tyres. It's not as if they're starting on hards, so he's not got a gigantic advantage over them. And they ain't so bad getting off the line themselves, you know. It's the final light. And it comes. And away we go. And it looks like Massey gets a very good start, but well comes across and the gap opens up for Whoopi. Oh, can you believe it? I swear to God, they've rehearsed that. They have so rehearsed that. Whoopi. That was perfect. If anybody crashes now, you know they're listening to the stream. Oh, I can't believe they made me do that. Whoopi straight into P1. Finally, this strategy at this track may be working out for him. Ah, Volungus had a spin, but he gets himself going pretty quickly. He's not too far off the back. So hopefully he can get... Well, he will get back onto the back of the pack pretty quickly. As Junkie Emperor loses out a couple of places there, but it's really tight on the exit and pushed wide, but still had 2 wheels on track, so no track limit issues there. And he did start on the hardest Junkie, so I think he's just struggling a bit with a lack of grip at this early point. And ultimately, the 2 guys alongside him are going to have the inside, so the left-hander. So nicely done from the 3 drivers there. Nice racing, indeed. Let's go to X11 because he's certainly trying to get past Bowden at this early point. Bowden is new to HRF1, but he's really shown that he's a good driver and the sort of driver you want to have on track. And oh, just as I said, oh, can you believe that? Can you believe that? That is... Bowden, I am so sorry. I am so sorry, Bowden. I did not mean that to commentator curse you like that. That was... I need to spend the whole race literally touching wood, otherwise I literally send people spinning. I don't know how I do this. Ah, where did I pick up this power? Sorry. I've lost my cool. I've lost my cool. Hey, Moomin. I hope you're good, buddy. Thanks for joining. Oh, God, I got tears in my eyes. Right then. Volungus makes one up, gets past Ronaldo. It's early point. Very early days yet. And we're already onto the back of the pack, and there's not... The biggest gap in the pack at the moment is a 2.9 second gap between Daguna and Chip Van. That's between P5 and P6. So the gap, the actual pack itself is very, very tight. So as long as Bowden, like Volungus, can get back onto the back of the pack, there's still a chance for a great result here tonight. And bear in mind, in HRF1, all the position, if you finish the race, you score points. Obviously, just the higher up you finish, the better the points you're going to get. But that goes right saying, really. So, Massey has pulled out a bit of a gap to third now. A couple of seconds. So, Cialdino started pole. Struggling to stay on the front. Massey showing very good pace. Really staying with Whoopi. He started on the soft tyres now. This is playing into Massey's hands. I think Whoopi, once he got P1 up into turn 1, I think he would have been hoping to sort of pull out a lead, really. As I think Bowden just had another little spin there. And he's into the pits. Ultimately, for Bowden, it's still the same premise. It hurts a bit that he's had to pit. He's left the session. Why have you left the session? I sent him an invite. It's not acceptable. If you don't join back, it's not acceptable just to leave and leave your car driving around the track, quite frankly. Anyway, back to the racing. Massey still sticking at the top. With Whoopi and right then. Little battle here going on, but staying further down. Oh, well, sorry, I didn't see what happened to Whale, but Whale has dropped down. It's currently a P11. Lungus has just gotten ahead of Twiglet, who of course started on the hard tyres. So Lungus gradually making his way back through. I say gradually, we're only on lap 4. He's actually doing a superb job of getting back through the field at the moment. As Whale, by the looks of it, having a little look at Chris as they come up towards the hairpin. Whale on the inside is surely going to get this move done. Does indeed. So through and into P10 as the move for the lead is happening. And that's brilliant from Massey. Little switchback. So went for it on the straight, little switchback. Oh, if he just jumped about a bit then. I don't know whether that's probably me rather than him. Still fighting as we go into the long right-hander. So, well, we don't have to worry too much. He's on a different strategy. He's on the soft tyres. He's done this strategy before. He knows that the softs die pretty quickly. I'm a little bit surprised they've died that quickly. Only 4 laps. I think I usually do 6 or 7 on those. Probably 6. A little bit shots at that as we get a yellow and sets her free. I think is Lismore has had a spin. So there we have it. Back going in away. Cialdino's closed that gap that did build most likely while Massey and Whoopi were battling. So he's back within the second. The Gooner right on the back of Cialdino as well. So sticking with it as he's brilliant form as the Gooner. Chip Van up in P4 doing very, very nicely indeed. And it's a couple of seconds behind as Gooner gets ahead. Now who's got the DRS? I would assume it's the Gooner. On board with Cialdino, yeah, you could see the Gooner's rear wing is open. So, with the DRS, the Gooner able to protect P2. So nicely done from the Gooner. I don't know whether Cialdino got all out of shape to allow that to happen. I can only think that's the only way that he could have got the move done where he did. as Whoopi gets ahead of Ronaldo. Keep an eye on Whoopi now. He will be flying now. So I mentioned that I know what strategy he's doing, and because I've seen him do it elsewhere, and it does work. So I think the fact he's gone to medium tyres probably tells everybody that he is two-stopping, and Lungus comes out of the traffic there, so I'll have a little look. I like to do that every now and again, just come out. Particularly if you're, like myself, you're a line driver, if you use the corner line. I like to just come out every now and again and have a look where it is. Oh, Crisps ended up round. Did he get a bit of contact from behind then or not? I'm not sure. From the view we had, it could have been... From the view that we had, it could have been contact, or it could have been a mistake on his own. I really don't know. We were looking behind from the car in front, so we really didn't have a particularly good angle for that. That's Whoopi making quick work of Chris there. He had to. He can't get held up here, Whoopi. He's got to make his way through traffic as fast as possible as Chardinho gets ahead of the Gooner and retakes P2. I wouldn't be surprised to see them battling away like that throughout, really. But it only plays into Massey's hands if they do. Massey looking strong. I have to say, he is looking very, very good tonight so far. Sorry, I'll touch wood. I've learnt my lesson. I've invited Biden. I've sent him 2 messages on Discord. If you don't reply to that, then I give up. Right then. Where are we looking now? I think Whoopi has caught the next driver, so as we've got a spinner, I think it's Mr. Rindy. It is indeed, as he just recovers. He's had a spinning turn coming out of turn 1, I think it is. And had to rejoin as Whoopi has caught Twiglet now. The extra grip he had to go through down the inside there. Oh, Twiglet has ended up round on the exit. I didn't see any contact, so I don't know whether Twiglet's just caught the outside curb on the exit, which could have spun him round. So if there was any contact, then obviously Twiglet would need to clip it afterwards, but it didn't look to me like there was. As Whoopi trying to use that extra grip that he's got and straightens the car up and cuts off any chance of Lungus coming back at him, but I don't think there was anyway. You can really tell the extra 4 laps. Well, the 4 laps younger that Whoopi's tyres are really does give him a real advantage here. Now, for the first time, really, he's got a proper gap ahead of him. With nearly 6 seconds to his teammate, Hunter. There's not many tracks in the season that on a 50% race a 2-stop can actually work, but America is one of them where it can. It does depend on the race, and it does depend on the safety cars, etc. But on a clean race, a 2-stop can work around here, and it's going to be... I really hope we don't get any safety cars, because I really want to see where Whoopi ends up. Look at the gap though, it was 6 seconds. Basically done sector 1 and he's taken nearly 2 seconds out of it. It's unreal. Let's go to another battle that's opening up here. Just ran out of straight on that attempt, but really closed down the gap, hasn't he, Crisp, to Volungus. So he's just using that bit. Should have DRS here, yeah. He did cross the line for DRS within a second. So I think we will go back. So for whatever reason, right at the start of the race, Jorginho struggling to find the sort of pace that he was shown in qualifying, but now he seems to have, I don't know, he just seems to have settled down or settled into the race. Now, for the one stop, which the vast majority, well, I think everybody apart from Whoopi is aiming to one stop, so for the one stop you'd expect medium tyre runners to be coming in probably around lap 11, 12 and 13. I would say that's the 3 laps you're likely to see stops. And it's just becoming apparent now that Jorginho will have a decision to make as to whether he looks to undercut or overcut Massey. The Gooner rate, he's still there. You can see it's only 1.3 seconds to gap to the Gooner, so he's very much still there. And again, Chip Van done brilliantly in P4. He's held the gap to the Gooner about the same as what it was earlier, and he's extended slightly the lead over the car behind, so he's doing a very nice job indeed as Chip Van. And in comes, I think, the first scheduled pit stop actually, Hunter, which is ideal for Whoopi. That's could have been a way of his teammate Hunter, rather than doing it on track, just getting out of the way by pitting. Keeping... No, it's not. It's not. It's because Hunter is two-stopping. He's gone to a fresh set of mediums. And again, he's going to be super quick for these next few laps compared to the other drivers. Twiglet's onto the back of Ronaldo, and this is the time where those hard tyres really come into their own now. See if Twiglet can mount an actual challenge for the position. So we use on this lap, just use the DRS just to close the gap up. She's done. And he'll have the DRS on the pit straight, where he can do the same again, just close the gap up into turn 1, and then he should get the opportunity when they get back round to the long straight again. Although he may get an opportunity here as Ronaldo just gets a bit out of shape. Out the corner. And, as I say, those, compared to the mediums, those hards now should be feeling really grippy compared to the medium tyres now. So it is one of the high tyre wear tracks, isn't it? America, right up there with Silverstone and the likes. So let's take a look. Who else we got? At the moment, this man is still charging. That car ahead is Whale, and okay, we know Whale had a little bit of a moment. Something happened to him earlier in the race. I didn't see what happened. It dropped him down the order, so he's not in the position he should have been well. But the fact that Whoopi has already made up the pit stop on him pretty much, it's pretty telling. let's just nip down to Hunter. I think we're going to get an overtake down here. Hunter on the fresh medium tyres. They're probably a good 2.5 seconds a lap quicker than those of Ronaldo's in front of him. As Cialdino is in. So Cialdino into the pits. So he's going to look for the undercut. Presumably this will be to hard tyres. But he could still make the decision to two-stop. Oh, and again, same corner for Ronaldo, wasn't it? He just got a bit out of shape there. And Cialdino, no, he's gone to the hards. And Daguner's in as well. Chris now in as well. So, predicted lap for the pit stops to start occurring really does seem correct. Obviously Hunter pitted, but he's gone to a second set of mediums, which means he's two-stopping as Hunter sets fastest lap on his charge. I think he's going to make very short work of Twiglet, who's on the hard tyres that he started the race on. We're opted to start from the back tonight, Twiglet. See how he does in the race and where he can get to for the end. Just the 2 penalties so far. This man Hunter has got one of them, and Junkie Emperor, the only other driver with a penalty. Just a note on Cialdino, he's come out in P7, so he's just behind. He's come out behind Whoopi by 2.3 seconds. I don't think Whoopi's going to be that impressed by that. But I think ultimately Whoopi had to pit early off of the softs, and it just did not last tonight, did they, at all? Had to pit the end of lap 4, so really not ideal for him as Hunter flies past Twiglet down the straight, and Twiglet's not going to be able to come back at that. Chip Van takes the lead of the race as Massey comes into the pits. Junkie Emperor into P2. He started on the hards Junkie, so he's should have a fun second stint. And through goes Whoopi and Cialdino. And the undercuts worked big time for Cialdino. Oh, it's huge. He's got an absolute huge undercut. I think that is worth a prrrr. That is a humongous undercut. 2 seconds. 3 seconds, 4 seconds. It's just going to keep growing because Massey has to warm the tyres up. Well, if anybody needs an incentive to go for the undercut at USA, that is it. That is 1 lap. 1 lap undercut. Going on to hard tyres as well. That's huge. So much so that Massey is actually in trouble from Daguner. He was supposed to be pitting to react to Cialdino, but he's actually had to pit in order to react quick enough to Daguner. Imagine if he'd have tried to prolong the stint. Daguner goes through and takes the position, and that 1 lap on those hards probably isn't going to make a huge amount of difference throughout the rest of this race. So I'm really shocked by that. I can't believe 1 lap has made that much difference. Have we missed something? Is he has to have some damage fixed, or he can't have. He can't have. Maybe got held up in the pits. Don't know. It just doesn't seem right that a single lap undercut has actually gained Cialdino and Daguner that much time. It doesn't seem right to me. But my suspicion is that something's happened there to Massey that's cost him time. To say whether he's just been held up in the pits or whether there's a change of wing. No, it can't be a change of wing because that would cost him more time actually. That ghosted car is Bowden's car. Bit annoying. So Whoopi's now into P2. But the problem for him now is that the roles are reversed and he's got a charge in Cialdino after him. And Whoopi's going to end up having to make up a whole pit stop to try and win this race. And as I said, it is a track where the two-stop can work. I've seen it work. I know it can work. It's just, I don't know. Whoopi's soft stint didn't exactly seem to go to plan. Can't imagine he planned to pit on lap 4. But he was definitely starting to lose time to the other guys around him, so I think he probably reacted to that and opted to pit there and then. But I'm not ruling him out yet. He's going to be, when he does pit to the next set of mediums, he is going to be super quick again. So I wouldn't be shocked still to see Whoopi end up on the podium, and maybe a race winner be too much, but I wouldn't be shocked for a podium. It's Massey. He's now got the tyres up to temperature and sets fastest lap of the race, having got past the Gooner and back into P4. Dino, see, we're on the back of Whoopi, and yeah, it's going to be interesting. And the same can be said for Junkie, who's going to effectively, in the same way, he's going to be going on to the fresh mediums, exactly the same way that Whoopi's going to do. He may just act a lap or two sooner than Whoopi, but ultimately, he's going to be doing the same thing by having started on the hards. Now, just looking down the order, they are going to drop a little bit. It's hard to work out, actually. There's X11. It's not that long a pit stop around here. It's quite short, so I think P10 is looking. No, maybe just ahead of that. I think it'd be somewhere around Twiglet, who's currently in P9, but then he's going to pit in a way as Twiglet. So yeah, I think they should get out ahead of Volungus, but it does depend a little bit. Volungus is on fresh tyres, so. Well, in comes Junkie and Whoopi, same lap. So Whoopi's done 11 laps on that set. It's going to have to do 13 on the next set. Mind you, of course, a lot less fuel now in the tank, so the car will be a lot lighter than it was. Let's just see where he comes out. So my prediction was just ahead of Volungus. Looks like he might actually. Is he going to get out ahead of Hunter? Yes, he does. He gets out just ahead of his teammate. Well, it's not ideal. This is a difficult situation to be in, because for the next half a lap, Whoopi isn't going to be too fast, and he don't want to hold his teammate up, but ultimately, he's got to get on with it himself. I don't think he can really just let his teammate through for half a lap, so I think Hunter's just going to have to accept being a bit slower for the next half a lap while Whoopi heats the tyres up. It's going to be interesting to see those two guys, Whoopi and Junkie, coming back at the front runners. So the top 5 right now are all drivers that have, as Chip Van gets back past X11 to retake his rightful 4th place spot. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see them coming back at the top guys. They're going to. Well, it won't take it. Their tyres should already be in a temperature, an operating temperature. They won't be at optimum temperature, but they'll be in an operating window by now. And, so first, in a way, is going to be X11 as it stands right now. Chip Van's just gotten ahead of, but Junkie's got 3.5 seconds to make up on that. So it's quite possible that Junkie and Whoopi will end up battling each other first, as Volungus. I was about to say made up position. It's just gotten past Twiglet, but Twiglet is finally into the pits. This is the last. He's not the last of the pits, actually. Lismore is still going on the hards he started on, and Twiglet is going to exit in P13. So Ronaldo just coming up the straight, but he's not quite going to get there in time to beat Twiglet's turn 1. Look behind from Twiglet. Oh no, you couldn't see it actually because he came over the hill, but there he was in the background in a way. 3 seconds for Whale. He's now in P12. again, I don't know how has he ended up down there. So again, I can only assume, my apologies guys, but I must have missed something that's happened a while. He's ended up back down the order again, so not having the type of race that qualifying showed he should have. Gap to Junkie now, down to 2.5 seconds already. So I think race win not looking likely, but still think these guys can get through and possibly take a podium, or certainly 4th and 5th. I don't know about a podium. Be tight. I don't know. We'll see how to get on. There's still a long way to go yet. So I think Whoopi's first thoughts will be how he's going to get ahead of Junkie. The problem for them both, of course, is that in trying to drive fast, they've both picked up corner cutting penalties. So not only do they have to get ahead of the drivers ahead of them, they have to get 3 seconds up the road from them as well. So it's going to take a monumental effort. And I think Massey is going to be looking this. He may watch this back and think, well, how on earth? How did that happen? Because I have no idea. Unless he knows something that I don't, I have absolutely no idea how the undercut from Cialdino has been that effective. When the driver goes on to hards, they've got to. It takes a long time to heat hards up, so in comparison to the other tyres. So I think of all the tyres that you're going on to, that hards would be the least likely that you'd be able to undercut on. I know it's a long lap around USA, but 2 seconds or something, and by the time Massey actually got his hards up to temperature, it was up to about 4 seconds or something. So, I don't know where that time came from. That seems a bit epic to me. So, we've got a yellow flag. It's Cialdino. I thought you looked like an Alfa Romeo. Oh, can you believe it? Oh, Cialdino, what have you done? 6-second lead. Well, Massey no longer cares. Massey no longer cares how he got that undercut, because it doesn't matter. And the Gooner benefiting as well, although Cialdino immediately looking like he's going to get after the Gooner, but well, this gap isn't closing quick enough. I'm going to be honest with you. Oh, Whoopi's dropped off as well. So I think Whoopi's had a little spin or something, because he's dropped off the back of Junkie. And yeah, the gap's not closing quick enough. He needs to. Well, yeah, they need to be catching quicker than this. It's. That'll be the last time that Whoopi 2 stops America, I think. As I say, I've seen it work. I've seen the 2-stop work here, but for some reason, it's just not happening for Whoopi when he does it. It hasn't on the times I've seen him use it. And yet the other driver I saw put it off dominated the race, and they weren't. When I say they dominated, they ended up winning by about 5 seconds, or 5 or 6 seconds, and they weren't even the fastest driver in it. They weren't even. They're barely top 5 fastest driver in the league they were driving in. So I know it has to work. Cialdino then opens up the DRS, has the inside for the next corner, and to be honest, Gooner didn't really look like he was going to bother to fight that too hard. And sometimes you just have to hold your hands up and say well done to a driver that they've clearly done their homework, they've practiced, and for whatever reason tonight, Chardinho does seem to have just found that bit extra pace that the other drivers haven't managed to find. He was exceptional in qualifying, and he didn't start this race very well, Chardinho. He was a bit slower at the start than the others, but he just he's just sort of gradually sort of got into it, sort of thing. And of course, I forgot the other Red Bull of Hunter was two-stopping as well, so into the pits he comes. I think he's going to come out P12. And he'll start his charge. Of course, he's done it the opposite way round to Whoopi, so he's gone medium, medium, soft, as opposed to Whoopi soft, medium, medium. And he is committed to doing 8 laps on the soft tyres. Certainly gonna be very quick on the soft tyres. You'd imagine, particularly as he's got a bit of a open road ahead of him, you'd imagine that we'll see a fastest lap come up from Hunter. I'm going to nip down to this one. I think we've got a bit of a battle coming on. Crisp and Chris. Crisp and Chris. Chris and Crisp. Crisp Chris. Crisp Chris. I actually don't know which one I'm saying on which time. Crisp Crisp. Crisp Chris. I'm going to stop that right now because I'll start. I won't be able to stop. If I don't stop now, I won't be able to stop. I'll keep saying it over and over again. Junkie finally caught onto the back of X11. The only problem for Junkie is that X11 is still on the back of Chip Van, so he's not going to have the DRS advantage that you'd have hoped. By this part of the race, you'd kind of hope that when you catch a kart, you'll have DRS over them as an advantage. But, normally, cars tend to have gapped out by now. Most have, but still a couple of battles going on. Just going to nip back up then. So we've got a bit of a freeway going on here. Now, so this is Chip Van MP4, and he's picked up a penalty. So effectively X11 maybe 5th on track, but he's effectively running at P4 because he's penalty free. Junkie is called up to the back of the pair of them, and that is Whoopi in the foreground, who is catching up to all of them as well. But they also have penalties. That is it's like problem with two-stop. It's the difference between a two-stop and a one-stop. So the two-stop is you drive absolutely as hard as you possibly can, non-stop for the whole race. Whereas a one-stop is generally, believe me, they're still driving hard, but just not necessarily as hard as possible. As Hunter up the inside of Chris, absolutely nothing Chris can do about it, and it's going to be exactly the same scenario for Chris. Once Hunter latches onto the back of him. And keeping an eye on the gap of that battle we were watching. X11 has fallen out of the 1 second to Chip Van, so he is going to become vulnerable, but Junkie Emperor's just dropped out the 1 second. He's back in now. Sorry, I'm just going to nip back to it. Sort of in and out at the moment. Through this first sector is where obviously the grip's gonna really help, and Chardinho picks up his penalty. That is effectively saying, here you are, Massey, there's victory right there, because even if I do overtake you, I'm not going to get 3 seconds away from you. So all Massey has to do now is keep it clean. No, X11 just can't. Sorry, Junkie just can't get close enough at the moment. Hunter still charging, absolutely charging. Oops! Oh dear. That was an oops moment. He's lost a place due to that Hunter. Certainly nothing wrong at all from Crisp. I think Hunter just missed his break-in. That's why he took a slightly weird line, Hunter, I think, because he was trying his best not to make any contact. But, at least he minimised the contact and stopped any actual damage from happening. I think we'll stick with him because I think we're going to get a... Oh, he just dropped off. We're not so she dropped off. Chris just seems to get a good exit there out of final corner and just got away slightly. And it is looking, if Chardinho hadn't picked that penalty up, it is looking very much like we would have had a battle on our hands at the end. I mean, obviously, should, you know, if he hadn't spun, he would be six odd seconds up the road, but he did. But he is homing in on Massey, but he's not going to have the time to create the sort of gap he needs with the penalty, unfortunately. But it's still going to be a very strong result from Chaldinho, and without a doubt, throwing his cap into the ring in terms of championship. It's that part of the season at the moment. People are sort of weighing up where they are in terms of championship and where they're going to be fighting, who they're going to be fighting with, and it's pretty evident to see that we know all of it. Everybody knows about Massey. We know he's going to be up there somewhere. Chardinho clearly very quick as well, and is going to be up there. The Gooners are current champions, so we'd have guessed he would have been up there somewhere as well. But who else? Well, Chip Van is looking very good. X11 has always looked good, and I think despite the strategy perhaps not paying off tonight for Whoopi, I think there's no doubt about it. He's got the pace to be up there as well. We knew that in a way. Oh, we got a yellow. With a hairpin. It's alright. That yellow flag was actually Mr. Indy was just getting out of the way of the front runners, so just slowed down to move out their way, which caused the yellow flag, that's all. So, nothing to worry about. Chaldinho has broken into the 1 second of Massey, but again, with that penalty, unfortunately, it's not going to be a battle for the win. Oh, Lismore, I think, had a little spin. Yeah. I was at that long right-hander as well. It's just caught him out. So keep going, Lismore. Finish it off, baby. Sorry, Whoopi and Junkie. For whatever reason, they're on the same lap tyres, but Whoopi just looks like he's capable of still getting more out of them than Junkie is. But again, like I said earlier on, the problem is they're stuck, completely stuck in a DRS train. And this can be the problem when you use a strategy where you've got to be able to get through the field. As things open up a little bit, but ultimately, see how tight that is. Well done, no contact made as they come over the hill. There's no doubt Whoopi is super close this time. And Junkie, well, Whoopi's going for it in the hairpin, but he's going to have the DRS as well, so this is effectively move done as he picks up the DRS. Oh, the only problem is he ain't got no energy, so actually, now that shows you that, well, Whoopi does actually get round the outside come the end of the straight, but showing the importance of having ERS, wasn't it? Because it looked for all the world like Junkie was actually going to fend that off. But ultimately, in the end, Whoopi does get past Junkie. He can now see if he can just improve this a little bit. X11's next up the road on the hard tyres. But Whoopi's tyres, mediums, are basically at the end of life in a way. And going to have that much of a tyre advantage over X11, if any, quite frankly. But of course, like Chaldinho, if he did get past, he'd have to get 3 seconds up the road as well. So, down. Well, Hunter's, I think, softs have started to die on him. He can't get past Crisp. He's stuck. Probably our best battle for the moment, but Chris has also managed to stay within 1 second and start getting involved in this. But again, Hunter's in exactly the same scenario as well, so even if he gets past Chris, he ain't going to have time to get up the road. So just aware, might be an overtake on here, so no, ran out of room, so let's go back. To the inside, so he's going to get look at the difference in exit, but he's going to get DRS, picks up the toe, starts moving towards him as the DRS really takes effect, and now we'll have the inside of the next corner. He's got the move done before they reach the corner, but oh, that was cheeky from Chris. He's nipped through as well. That was good from Chris. I'll give Chris a purr. From Chris. From that move. Don't ask me. If you've just tuned in and you're wondering why I'm doing that, don't ask. It's just... ugh. Basically all the guys that drive in this league are a bit weird. Oh, that's Whale! Wales had another moment. So I make that 3 moments for Whale tonight. Hopefully you drive better tomorrow night. This is my teammate. But, Chris sails past him as well. That's Whale. Did you get that? There's Whale. And that is a position game for those two. Let's quickly bring up the penalties, actually. So, oh, it's not a position game for those two because they've both got 6 seconds to Wales free, so he will get those places back. So just looking at penalties. Well, there's Chaldinho's now 6.7 seconds, so something's happened to him, and he's going to lose down to 3rd. Oh, Chaldinho, that is something. Chaldinho, you're going to have to cut out. Because you're... well, if you look at it in this sense, you're on the back of Massey, you've had a spin, you've lost, you're now 6 seconds behind. You're 6 seconds in front, had a spin, and fell more behind, so... well, I think he's lost something in the region of 15 seconds by spinning tonight, Chaldinho. But Massey is victorious at the Circuit of the Americas. Daguna on penalties takes P2. Chaldinho will keep hold of the podium. X11 in P4, Chitvan P5, Whoopi 6, Junkie in 7, Blungus in 8th. Which is a good result. He had a spin earlier on, it dropped into the back at the start. So he's recovered to 8th. He's done well. Hunter will finish 9th. Chris will finish 10th, but Whale penalty free. On 3 seconds will move ahead of both. But Chris will move ahead of all of them up to P9. So, which gives Aston Martin a decent result tonight. 5th and 9th, not bad going in this league with the way the points are done. So, Twiglet P13. Ronaldo is going to take P14, Lismore and Mr. India have already finished in 15th and 16th. Bowden unfortunately just left us earlier on in the race and just disappeared and couldn't be bothered. Literally left us while he was in the pits. He literally could have retired the car so it wasn't still driving around the track, but nah, didn't bother with that. Just left us, stayed away. So, the Game Awards Driver of the Day 2X11. I'll have a look. I'm not going to rule him out. Definitely not going to rule him out. I think my Driver of the Day... I think it is between... it's probably between Massey, Daguna and X11. So anybody who watches my streams, or and drivers that watch the race back, that actually listen to what I say, they will know that I tend to put a high emphasis on remaining penalty free when it comes to driver of the day from me. So X11 started 9th. If I'm absolutely honest, I could give it to Massey, Daguna or X11, but because the game gave it to X11, I'm gonna stick with the game on this one and award it to X11 as well. Started 9th, finished 4th. He's getting a nice amount of places. Stayed penalty free. And only just missed out on the podium in the end. But as I say, that is with a massive shout out to Massey and Daguna as well, because they could just as easily be awarded it as well. So fair play to all three of you, quite frankly. Hunter got the fastest lap today, 36.5. After switching to the softs for the final stint. Whale gets the Spinner of the Day award, and Bowden gets the Numpty of the Day award for leaving us. So I've just made those last two awards up, by the way. But there we have it, guys. That's my evening streaming has come to the end. Congratulations to our podium boys, and to X11 on Driver of the Day. Other than that, that's well, again, it's a good race. We've hardly any retirements, no safety cars. Massey gives it the woo. GG everyone, get in. Nice win, buddy. But I think even you'll admit that Cialdini had some pace tonight. If he's going to be that quick the rest of the season, it's going to be hard to keep in check. If he can stop the mistakes, isn't it? If he can stop the spins, then he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. And Whoopi will be. I think he's just, unfortunately for Whoopi, for whatever reason, the two-stop just did not work tonight. For both Red Bulls, they both tried it, but just didn't happen tonight. But these things happen. Can't get it right every time. Not sweated out hard in a long time. Well, buddy, ultimately you deserve to win. And as I say, a massive shout out to you and Daguna. But driver of the day to X11 tonight. But you and Daguna could quite easily have been awarded it as well. So, in a way, guys, thank you ever so much to everybody that's watched along with me and kept me entertained. I mean that. Thank you very much. Thank you also to everybody that watches the stream back. I promise you guys, it's really appreciated. We will be back next week. Is it Monaco next week? Let me have a look. I know one of my leagues is Monaco next week. I think it might be WAF1, but let's just have a gander. Sunday. Where's the calendar? It is... No, it's not Monaco. Monaco's not even on the calendar. So it's actually one of my favourites. It's Japan next week. Which is normally an absolute... Oh, do you know what? We got a race. We got a run of really good races, or tracks for viewing purposes. You got Japan, followed by Silverstone, Miami, Zandvoort, Portimao, Singapore, Imola, Brazil, Saudi Arabia, and we will end the season at Abu Dhabi. But that is some calendar. I like the looks of that. I look forward to all of those, quite frankly. In a way, guys, thank you ever so much. Have a good week, whether it's at work or whatever it is you do. Enjoy yourselves. Don't work too hard. And we'll see you again next Sunday then for Japan. Good night. God bless.